Take a look at the person in the mirror. You see someone rational, thoughtful, and in control. Now, imagine that same person caught up in a flash mob, a political riot, or a frenzy at a concert. That thoughtful individual disappears, replaced by a strange, new, and often terrifying entity. What happens to our individual mind when we merge with hundreds or thousands of others? How do we lose our reason and become something primitive? This is the dark question that obsessed the French polymath. Gustave Le Bon was a French polymath who, after earning a medical doctorate in Paris, chose a life of research and writing over practicing medicine. His career took a decisive turn after he served as a medical officer in the Franco-Prussian War and witnessed the mob violence of the 1871 Paris Commune. These events horrified him and sparked a lifelong intellectual obsession with group behavior. He then used his inheritance to travel extensively through Europe, North Africa, and Asia, shifting his focus to anthropology and publishing books on the civilizations he studied. In the 90s, Le Bon synthesized all his life experiences, his medical background, his war observations, and his controversial anthropological theories to write his 1995 magnum opus, The Crowd, a study of the popular mind. The book's success made him a wealthy and famous, if academically scorned, figure in Parisian society, known for hosting Wednesday luncheons attended by political and intellectual elites until his death in 1931. In his book, The Crowd, Le Bon tells us about the collective mind. His observations says that a psychological crowd is not just a group of people consisting of different parts. In a crowd, everyone becomes something else, something new. A crowd becomes a single being. In a crowd, any sense of individuality disappears. The consciousness of an individual does not work when he is in a crowd. The thoughts, feelings, and energy of a person are turned towards a common direction which is favorable to the crowd. According to Le Bon, the individual in a crowd falls several steps back in the ladder of civilization. They move from a rational, conscious state to a more primitive, unconscious, and instinctual one, from a civilized man to a caveman. This is what's called loss of individuality and reason. Being part of a crowd gives the individual a sense of anonymity and a feeling of invincible power. This feeling is a result of countless years of wars in which we march together in groups with the motive of destroying everything in the path. This combination removes the sense of personal responsibility that would normally restrain the impulses or make anyone think before doing any action. Le Bon argues that ideas and emotions spread through a crowd like a virus. Individuals become highly suggestible, similar to a person in a hypnotic state. They will accept assertions and beliefs uncritically, especially from a leader. Any kind of simple idea could be instilled in the minds of the people if it is coming from a favorable leader. Crowds do not deal in nuance. Sentiments, both good and bad, are always exaggerated. A crowd is only impressed by simple, absolute ideas and powerful images. They are incapable of complex reasoning and see things in black and white. Le Bon states that crowds are incapable of acting on their own and require a leader. These leaders understand how to manipulate the crowd's mind by making simple, bold statements which trigger some kind of emotion in the crowd, regardless of any kind of reasoning or proof. To control the crowd further, they repeat their statements again and again until the crowd sees it and accepts it as an absolute truth. With this, the required idea spreads, which for the crowd becomes a powerful shared belief or absolute truth. Le Bon wrote his magnum opus over a century ago, motivated by the mobs in the street. But if the crowd transforms the rational man into a caveman, what does that make the digital crowd? In the age of social media, where assertions spread instantly like a virus and complex nuance is eliminated by the character limit, the principles of anonymity, suggestion, and repetition are being perfected every day. Le Bon's true legacy is this chilling realization. The fight for your individual consciousness isn't happening in the streets. It's happening in your hand. The question isn't whether you're in a crowd, but whether you can recognize when the collective mind has already taken hold.